Hello, I'm Georgie from Georgie at Home. Thanks for joining me in this video. This video is actually going to be my Filofax tour. I talked about it in my last video, my planning history, and I didn't quite get to the end of the what I wanted to do to show you my Filofaxes, so I'm going to do that in this video. But this is just a face-to-face to introduce myself and tell you how I found Filofax. So hopefully you've already seen my previous video, so this kind of follows on, even though this little section should have been at the beginning. Hopefully the light and everything's okay, and it's not glaring on my glasses too much, because if I take them off, I'm not going to be able to see you. So once I've done my little introduction about how I found Filofax, I'm going to turn the camera around and actually show you my planners in a little bit more detail. You can only use one, I'm going to show you two. Okay, so I was introduced to Filofaxing by my friend and business partner. She found it on Pinterest, and we're both big Pinterest fans. So I was instantly addicted. I absolutely loved it. There's just something about it. The creative element, the planning element, I just liked it. And I love to be organised, I really do, but it does not come naturally to me at all whatsoever. I find it really, really hard work to be organised. And I write lists in too many pads, in too many places, and it's just a mess. And so Filofax is great for me because it's easy and it's simple, and you can print your own inserts to go inside, or you could just buy them ready done. You can put them in. It kind of matches, it goes, it fits. It's not 3 books in 3 different places, it's all there. And you'll see in mine, I've actually added my own dividers in my own section, so it's completely personal to me. It's just not a pad with loads of the same pages in it. So of course this applies to any planner. It's just about finding a system that works for you. So really, that's all I wanted to say about how I found it. I shall move on now to show you the planners. Okay, so here are my planners. If you've watched my first video, you would have seen these 3 planners that I didn't get to, so this is what we're doing now. So I have 3. We're going to go with my first one. This is the first one I got. It is a pink Metropole. Not my first choice. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm probably not the biggest pink person, although once I got this I was suddenly like a really big fan of pink. It does have a line down it. That's because I got it really cheap. So yeah, everyone probably knows what a Filofax looks like. If you don't, you're in for a real treat. This is real life, so we'll just take the receipts and stuff from inside. Okay, so in a Filofax, everybody has their plastic Filofax. Some people use it as a dashboard. I would probably just stick like little shopping lists, or just little things, little tots of money, or whatever floated my boat. Now I actually made my own dividers. That's the first thing I did when I got my Filofax. Actually, I completely personalised it and made my own pretty colours. I think that's what I'd first seen in other planners, which makes them more attractive, I think, just to have the pretty dividers in them. It makes it really personal. And of course, yeah, they're all pink because that's the paper I had that went with my Filofax. So the order, you can have your Filofax in any order you wanted, but I've got mine diary first, because basically that's the first thing that I would want to see when I opened mine. Filofax come with loads of like the little info sheet things. Now I know a lot of people don't like them, and a lot of people take them out. I did take mine out first of all, but then I put some of them back in because I actually discovered that I needed to know something, and I sort of thought, oh, that's the sort of thing you find in diaries, and then, oh, hold on, I've got that information. So I did put them back in, because it did end up being quite useful, and actually in the grand scheme of things it doesn't take up that much room. It's just like 3 or 4 pieces of paper. So when I go in, I have a little clip that just clips back the pages that the weeks that have already gone by. But now I got a new Filofax for my birthday in November, so I had planned to kind of start that in the January and just finish using this one to the end of the year. So obviously now it is January, so this is now finished. But so for instance, let's just find a really quiet week. So it would be clipped on like that, so the ruler would be in there as well, so I could just go straight open and it would be on the page that I wanted. Now as far as decoration goes, I do like to decorate, but I like to keep it simple. I think on my first week I went all out with all the stickers, and I thought this isn't practical as far as planning goes. Planning needs to be quick, it needs to be easy, and I mean it looks lovely, but that's not practical. It's just not good to have all of that. It was taking me more time to faff around with it than it actually was to get anything done. So I simplified that by, I have washi tapes, which I know are very popular, and I would just do the same sort of theme layout, but just with a different washi tape. And actually it really does change it up. I mean, every week is different, and then I would use a colour pen that kind of coordinates with those colours of the washi. So some of them I like more than others, and I would do them kind of close weeks together, others not so much. I mean, I'm not so much a fan of the plain ones. I've got a plain purple one, I've also got a plain light blue one. I'm not even sure if I've used it. I must have done it here somewhere. There we go, a plain light blue one, and I've used the light blue pen. So it's a really kind of icy cold week, which is quite good because that was the end of October, so it kind of went with the change in the weather. So, and then, so that's my diary section. I always have this. I've noticed that quite a few people are doing this now from watching other people's Filofax videos on YouTube, but basically this page is like my monthly to-do list. So it's basically stuff that I want to get done in the month, that doesn't necessarily have like a specific day that it needs to be done on, but it's just like, oh, stuff I could work on, but actually if it doesn't get done this month it can move over, and then the priorities kind of change. And then I was having this in between like the week I was on, but it was getting in the way. Like when I go to the week I'm on, I want to see the whole week. I didn't want to see half the week and then have to turn it over, so I was actually putting it in the next week, so that it was there, it was close, it was only a page away, but it was always handy. And then so for the following month, so January has actually got quite a lot of this stuff transferred over, some stuff's dropped off and new stuff's been added. So that's kind of how that works. But I might use, I don't know if I've got them in here, we might come to it, to do the actual to-do list that come with the Filofax, because I don't use those, but I could use them for that. I might have already taken them out to put them in my new one. So yeah, then there's the personal information, and then my list section. Now I've just got some plain paper. This is what I've cut to size and punched holes in. I just, sometimes it's nice to have a piece of completely plain white paper to write on. You don't want lines or anything. You can do like a doodle. You need to draw out something on there. And then I made these like subcategory dividers, and the downside to that was I didn't have tabs on them. Now I know you can buy, Martha Stewart I think do the ones that you can buy, and I never got around to finding any, and it was only relatively recently, it was since I got that, but was still using this, that I stuck these on just so that I could see what my categories were, because it was getting a little bit ridiculous. And I've got quite a few, I don't know if you can see, I've got quite a few categories there, and I just found I wasn't using all of them because I couldn't see them, even though I did need to be using them. So I ended up putting kind of two things in one, even though it could have been split out a little bit better. So this one I call www, just purely because it's all stuff that relates to searching things on the web, or where I've been on the web, things I want to look up. And I actually just shoved Christmas in here, so our Christmas planning was in here, just because when I went to lists, it was the first thing I could see. Now I don't really want to show too much in that, And then my social one. So this related to mainly all things on Instagram. So I'd list my Instagram photo challenges and things like that on there, and my social media links and things like that. And then my crafts one. Now I've actually, because now it is January, I have started using my Malden. I have transferred quite a few things out, so it's going to look quite empty, which is ideal for doing a video from my point of view, but it's probably a bit boring for you. And I've still got these in here even though I don't need them, but I'm not using it, so it's not a big deal. But this was for just listing things I wanted to make. So I'd see something, oh I want to make that, I put it on there. And it's the same with Pinterest as well, or it would be something I wanted to look up on Pinterest, because I knew that's something I wanted to find out how to make that specific thing. It could be paper craft, or it could be sewing, or anything that you would make. I made some macrame plant holders last year, sort of that sort of thing. So that was in there. Wish list, so clothes wish lists, general things. I've actually transferred a few out into my new one. And checklists, which was sometimes when we go away and stay somewhere for a weekend, I have quite a lot of stuff to remember, and I always forget something. So it's nice just to have a checklist that was there every time I went somewhere, so I didn't have to sit and do it every time. And then on my subcategory dividers, I would have a little quote or something that just relates to that section, and I have replicated this in my Malden as well. So for my looking up things on the web, it would say never stop learning, and for my social things, say often less is more, because sometimes people say too much on Facebook. Sometimes people say too much. Craft section, I say measure 2 times and cut once. My wish list, if the shoe fits, wear it. That's probably not meant in the exact term that it is intended, but if the shoe fits, I'm going to wish for it. And then checklists, it pays to be prepared. So yeah, so then my next tab is my home tab. That included my food, so like master shopping lists, regular grocery lists and things like that, and like meal plans. And on there it says eat to live, not live to eat, because it's kind of a healthy reminder. Now this one, I could actually do a whole video on just this section. Here's my to-do list I was talking about. You only get 2, so I've got some in my A5 as well, I think. So they're the sorts of things I might start using in my monthly one, although I think on my January monthly to-do list I've probably got more than there are tick boxes, so that might not be any good. So that's that, and I put some green paper in there. This paper, by the way, is from Paperchase if you're in the UK, and it's pretty cheap and it's cute and it's colourful, so I use that. This one is my me section. It's got my health, my goals and my blog. There's some new bits in this section in my new Filofax, but basically health is health. I've taken the section out, so it's kind of routines and things I'd need in my spa bag and stuff like that. Goals, pretty self-explanatory. I've got a lot. I've now got a whole book of goals in my new Filofax for 2014. So again, that's empty. This one says 1 step at a time. And for health, health is better than wealth. I did miss one, didn't I? Did I have one? Yeah, life is not a dress rehearsal. You just got to get on and do it, people. Anyway, enough of that. Blog is blog. My blog has been a bit of a nothing, really. It's coming. I'm working on it. I've done a post. I think it's gonna go live today, actually, the post on there, but you won't see this until the weekend, so come and check out my blog. There's a post on there that's live. There might even be 2 this week if you're really lucky. And so that, okay, there's spare pages, but that's moved over to my new one. And my money tab. Now I do have debt, I'm not going to lie, Probably most people probably do. And I never have any money, so I have a money tab. Never spend your money before you have it. It's better late than never for me. So that's my money tab. I do, again, I've moved this out. I have financial, the inserts you can get that you can just log in what you've spent for the month. And then people is the last tab in my Filofax. So I have my addresses. Strangers are just friends waiting to happen. And in here I have the A to Z index tabs, and on each one I just decorate. I didn't really want to redo it, but I've decorated them with just the little letters that correspond to those ones, just to make it a little bit pretty. Even though when you go to, and I don't know why, because when you go to one, you're just not even going to look at the front page, are you? You're going to look at what's inside. So again, that's that. Lesson learned. Not going to waste my time on that again. And my birthdays and anniversaries tab, better late than never. Now, I'm not very good at sending cards and things on time. Oh, here comes the sun. Hey, sun. So I do need to get a bit better on that this year. That's something else I need to work on. And then you've got your regular card tab and a top opening pocket, which I keep receipts in, and the standard notebook at the back. I do use this quite a lot, so there's only a couple of sheets left in that. So that is my Metropole. I have really enjoyed using it. I do like it. I know I spoke about the Collins Manager Diaries in my other video, and it's much the same really, just on a smaller scale, and it's got a proper closure on it, but I like that it's quite soft and pliable on the outside, but actually it's quite rigid. I do really like that. It's got lots of pockets, and because it's quite firm, like the stuff doesn't slip out. It does mean you can't fit, well, I probably don't need to put that much stuff in there, but yeah, like stuff just doesn't slip out. So I think I've covered everything on here. It's got 2 pen loops, that's a winner as well. My Malden's got 2 pen loops. Having 2 pens is really handy, and I use friction pens in my planners. I love to be able to rub them out. I think they're absolutely brilliant. If you haven't got a friction pen, they sell them in Tesco's, go and get one. If you've got any questions about this, pop them in the comments and I'll ask them, or if I need to, I'll do another video to show you in more detail. But now I'm going to move over to my other ones. Now, this one I got it on eBay because it was really cheap. It's a domino. I think it's called Crimson Red. It is not in brilliant condition, but I mean it's used, so it's fine. But what I used it for when I first got it was for keeping the things in my other one that I didn't need so much, so like the dividers that came with it that I didn't need, that I'd use as templates, and then in those I would use them as sections to keep the things I did use. Like I would use these. I stopped using them in the end, but they would be in there, and then vertical, they had specific purposes, and then spare coloured paper, and this is the dividers that came with this one. And then all of I got my Metropole in August, so I had the whole full year in there preceding that, so I didn't need those, and the little zipper things I did have in there, but I took them out because the little zippy bits were pressing a mark in the back of the planner. Right, I have made a decision, folks. This craziness has to stop in this video right now. So what I'm actually going to do is abandon the end of this craziness and continue the lovely purple Malden in the next video. I'm going to do a whole video just on this. It's going to be an overview of the tabs, and then what I'm going to actually do is do individual videos for my subcategories, just because I don't want this video to be huge. It's already quite long. Yeah, we're good with that? Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.